What up? It's your boy Random Reese. Today we're going to talk about Tom Brady. Is he the GOAT or is he not the GOAT? That is the question. I mean, he has the most rings. He got six. He's been to nine Super Bowls. He has an undefeated season under his belt, a bunch of records, you know. But is he really the GOAT or did he play in the best system ever? Now, this subject is brought up because Phillip Rivers said that he was anointed GOAT status once he won against the Seattle Seahawks. And he won that game. He had a hell of a drive. He had a hell of a fourth quarter drive. He took the team to the lead. But the key moment in that Super Bowl was Seattle throwing it and throwing an interception on the 2 yard line. Now, if they run the ball in, and they win that Super Bowl, it doesn't like Tom Brady's game that he played is not changing, but the result matters. So Phillip Rivers was just saying that there's so many intricacies and consequences when it comes to football. You have to depend on other moving parts for you to win. So for you to win, you can't just solely rely on how many Super Bowl wins a player has to determine if they're the GOAT or not. So I don't think Drew Brees was saying he's up there in GOAT status. He was saying that other players are still up there in GOAT status. Like if Dan Marino would have played with Bill Belichick and had a hell of a defense, would he have won? Now he played with a Hall of Fame coach. He's probably the best coach. He's probably top five coach, top three coach of all time, and Don Shula. But he never really had a running game, and he never had a real defense. Shoot, even his wide receivers, even his wide receivers, they didn't. None of his wide receivers went to the Hall of Fame. My thing is this: they killing Phillip Rivers for saying one thing, and then they take one quote out of the entire clip that he says. His clip for the interview is probably like a 2 to 3 minute clip, and they take the one clip that says he is not the GOAT, and then they run with it, and then they build off of that, and they give him shit for it. I'm like, come on now, man. Look at the entire clip. But I get it. It's clickbait media. I mean, that's why you're here right now, because my title said Tom Brady is not the GOAT. So you're like, oh, who the fuck are you talking about? So, I do some of that clickbait media too, to draw you in. But my thing is they don't give, when you on a 2 hour long show, like First Take or Skip and Shannon Undefeated, and you only focus on a one quote, that's just doing a disservice to what Phillip Rivers said. And that's unresponsible journalism or whatever you want to call it, because it's not really journalism. That's on TV giving their opinions like I'm giving my opinions. So I don't think their opinion is right or wrong, but I just think when I give my take, I give a nice broad view of the entire spectrum of things. So is Tom Brady to go? I'll give him GOAT status now because nine Super Bowls, that's hard to do. And it's not like that he didn't play against great players. He's went up against Peyton Manning. He's went up against Baltimore defense, Pittsburgh's defense. He's played against Seattle's defense, Russell Wilson. He's played like you named. He played against the Eagles, like the Giants twice. Even though he lost to the Giants twice. He's played against great teams and beat them. He's played against Phillip Rivers and beat him. The Chiefs and beat him. Andy Reid, like if you name it, he's done it, and he's done it with a cast of characters. No Hall of Fame running backs. No, only Hall of Fame wide receiver is Randy Moss, and they didn't win. Hall of Fame players on defense, but he's also had guys like Troy Brown on defense. So he's had a hell of a career. And the thing with Brady is that he's so clutch. Like you never see him get rattled. That's where the eye test comes in. When they down by 3 or they down by 4, he's going to get you. He's going to get you in position. You always have a chance with Brady. You're never going to see that pick six to end the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left. You're going to see some throws, and it's going to be close. It's like, buckle up, get your shit ready. Like even when they were losing to the Falcons, it was down 25. I'm like, this Super Bowl is not over. This is the time you want to tune in. I actually made a bet. I was getting 12 to 1. I think I bet like $100 on that, 200 bucks on that Super Bowl right in the fourth quarter when they was down, right at the start of the third or fourth quarter. I actually wish I'd have bet more because the bookie I went through, he said the minimum bet was 300, and then I went through somebody who went through somebody. If I'd have had the direct contact with the bookie and he'd have told me to bet 300, I'd have bet the whole 300. I'd have bet the whole 300. So the bookie wound up betting the other 200 on top of that bet because the odds were so good, and he made a killer. Like, so I helped him out make some money, but he didn't throw me anything. So that's a nice little cool story because I didn't want Brady to win and I'll be mad. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not a big time Brady fan. I used to be a Peyton Manning fan. So I always root against Brady, but I respect him. So I know, like I said, that's where I'm talking about. I give you a good perspective because I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I definitely think Bill Belichick and staff has done things to create an edge. Some people may call it cheating, but they've definitely done things to create an edge, which you should rightfully do in such a competitive league like the NFL. You want to get that edge. You want to get that one little thing that's going to push you over the top. So me not being a Brady fan, I'm just like I can honestly say like he's definitely up there. But there's been other great quarterbacks, other great throws in the league without championships. Look at Warren Moon. Warren Moon put up crazy numbers. If he played in the league right now, who knows what he would do? Dan Marino, it took him 20 years to break his records, and this was in a passing era back in the mid '80s, early '80s. What would he would do right now? You know, so it's hard to really say play these what if games. Montana was a GOAT for the longest because he played in 4 Super Bowls, had 4 rings. Now, what if he doesn't get hurt? Because if he doesn't get hurt, he doesn't go to Kansas City, and Steve Young doesn't take over, and it's possible he would won at least one more, maybe 2 or 3, playing against the Cowboys. Shoot, Montana could have stopped the Cowboys dynasty if he'd have been healthy. Because there was a couple of years where 49ers, they lost to the Cowboys partly because of Steve Young play. But like I said, I think he's the GOAT. It's kind of like Jordan. You know, most people say he's a GOAT, but if you throw some other names out there, it's hard to argue. And like I said, but the biggest take I want to take on, my biggest point on this take is that I'm tired of the media taking these quotes and taking them for gold, taking them out of context. You know, because they don't give you the whole story. Even with the Jay-Z thing recently. And he said, we're past kneeling, but if you go past that and he talk about it, he's like, no, that was an important step of the process. And if you want to protest, go right ahead, keep doing it. Like, they took all of that out and then focused on the one headline clickbait quote. And it's just bad journalism. So, I mean, I'm out. Tom Brady is a GOAT. I'm going to see prediction. Patriots, Eagles, Super Bowl this year. Part 3, second time in 3 years. I think Carson Wentz beat the Patriots. So that's going to be 1-4 against the NFC East for the Patriots and Bill Belichick. They beat the Eagles once, lost to the Giants twice, and then lose to the Eagles twice. So that's a prediction right now. Early prediction. Patriots, Eagles, Super Bowl. Book it.